John, who owns this farm, had this idea that he would create the first community-owned whisky distillery in the UK, and indeed in the world.
My vision for GlenWyvis was to regenerate the town of Dingwall and to bring whisky distilling back after a 90-year absence.
As a startup, we're particularly difficult. So most startups will commence and they will have an expectation of trading at a profit within a relatively short period of time, 2 to 3 years. Whisky doesn't do that. For whisky, you have to make your product, then you have to put it in a cask or a barrel and leave it for at least 8 years before it turns into something that is significantly profitable. Not only are we a startup with very little trading history, we're also saying there'll be no profit, and in fact we'll carry on increasing our borrowing for at least the next 7 or 8 years. Very difficult proposition.
The key thing was raising the finance and getting that business planning in place. We identified that this was really difficult. You had to raise a huge amount of money and sell a product years down the line. Not traditional, and lenders really would never get involved in that. Close Brothers came up each time that we met with anybody. It was we were pointed in that direction, from our accountants to traditional banks. They all said Close Brothers is where you should be looking.
Close Brothers have been really helpful to us in several ways. First of all, they're prepared to lend, which we were very pleased about. Second of all, they're lending over a longer term than is normal for lease finance, so 7 years. And also they're prepared to allow a delay to the start of those payments.
We realised that Close Brothers had this real non-traditional way of understanding the equipment, exactly what we're trying to achieve, and some soft start lending that would get us to our production of whisky in years to come, and also the income which we'll generate from the RHI. So it was really a very tailored, specialised lending package that fits for us.
I think one of the really good things, apart from the personal relationship and the involvement, has been the speed of their responses. You can imagine that there's an awful lot to come together at the very end of this process. There's a bill to sign off, equipment to sign off, loans to pull in, conditions to meet, paper to deliver, due diligence to do, and having a fast response and a flexible response just makes that process so much easier.
The advice I would give when you're looking at lending is treat it as important as your product. It's so important that you take a lot of time to look at what fits for you.
So I think there's really exciting times ahead, and I'm very proud to be part of this community organisation.